Welcome back to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast, where we talk all things smoked meat and so much more, including hilarious stories about our farm-to-table lifestyle and our love of the outdoors. Be sure to tune in till the end of the episode for this week's feature recipe and how to qualify for the BBQ Brag to Win giveaway contest. Episode 2, let's do this. Today in episode 2 of the BBQ Beautiful Podcast, we're diving into a subject so juicy, it'll have you drooling on the table, desk, or right there in your car. Yes, folks, we're talking about brisket, often hailed as the king of the barbecue world. Is it the king of barbecue? What are your thoughts? Every time I tell anyone there's going to be a brisket on the pit, the house seems to be full of visitors. Now, brisket isn't just any hunk of meat. Why? Because brisket comes from an area of the cow that gets a serious workout. This means it's tough enough to bench press a small car, and cooking it isn't just a suggestion, it's a challenge. You've got to treat this hunk of meat with love and patience. When we talk about cooking brisket, we're diving into the low and slow world of cooking. This isn't a quick weekend dinner kind of situation. This is more of a clear your weekend plan. We're talking hours. Seriously, it's like waiting for your favorite show to come back from a mid-season break. But the result? Oh, it's worth the wait. That tough cut transforms into a buttery melt-in-your-mouth masterpiece. It's like magic, if magic were smoky and came with a side of baked beans. Let's not forget the size of this beautiful cut. A full packer brisket can weigh up to 20 pounds or more. Yes, that's right, folks. You're essentially preparing for a family reunion with just one piece of meat. It's like you're not just cooking dinner, you're throwing a barbecue block party. And while you're at it, you might as well invite the neighbors because you're not eating a full brisket alone. Brisket isn't just a solo act. It's a versatile cut of meat in the barbecue world. You can slice it thin and pile it on a platter, or you can chop it up and make sandwiches. And don't even get me started on how good brisket tastes the morning after in breakfast hash, on a gourmet pizza, or stuffed into tacos. I mean, who wouldn't want a combination of two of the best food groups, barbecue and tacos? If that's not living the dream, I don't know what is. And like BBQ Beautiful always says, you don't get barbecue beautiful from eating salads. Brisket has a knack for bringing people together. It's the social glue of barbecue gatherings, whether you're tailgating at a football game, celebrating a birthday, or just having a random Tuesday. Brisket is the life of the party. Picture this. Friends and family huddled around a backyard smoker, beers in hand, sharing stories and maybe a few embarrassing moments from the weekend. And as the brisket comes off the smoker, everyone gasps. And you know you're about to create memories that will last longer than the smell of smoke on your clothes. Well, at least my dogs and I here at the farm. And let's talk about the different parts of the brisket. You've got the point and the flat. Each one is like the yin and yang of barbecue. The point is the flavor bomb with a juicy, fatty richness that's definitely my favorite. Meanwhile, the flat is a bit leaner but still packed with flavor. It's like having your cake and eating it too, but instead it's brisket and baked beans. And oh, speaking of the sides, a brisket is like the star of the show, but you can't forget the supporting cast. Coleslaw, baked beans with homemade bacon, deviled egg potato salad loaded with farm fresh chicken eggs, mashed potatoes, buttery corn on the cob, jalapeno and cheddar rolls, fries, and the list goes on. And if you think brisket is just for traditional barbecue settings, think again. It's showing up everywhere. Food trucks, gourmet restaurants, and yes, even fancy brunches. I mean, like I said before, who doesn't love a brisket hash to kick off their Sunday, giving you the energy needed for Sunday night football? Now, we've talked about how to serve it, but let's dive into the holy grail of brisket cooking, the rub. This is where creativity comes into play. You can go with a simple salt and pepper blend, or you can log on to the BBQ Beautiful website at www.bbqbeautiful.ca and order a bottle of brisket rub that removes all the guesswork. And let's not forget about smoking techniques. What kind of smoker do you have? Pellet grill, offset smoker, charcoal grill, gravity fed. There's many different types. You might be wondering, do I go with oak, hickory, mesquite, or something more exotic like cherry wood? Each wood brings its own unique flavor profile, and it's up to you to experiment to see what flavor profile you like best. You want to enhance the flavor without overpowering it, so don't use a big spruce tree log. A good fresh product, the right rub, and right smoke produces an amazing end product. Now let's address the inevitable question. What do you do with the leftovers? The leftovers. The unsung heroes of the culinary world. Brisket can be reincarnated in so many delicious ways. You could throw it in a quesadilla, add it to a breakfast burrito, or even make a killer brisket chili. The possibilities are endless. You can take the remains of your barbecue feast and transform them in a whole new meal, or in Brisket's case, many meals. At BBQ Beautiful, we like to say that eating brisket isn't just a meal, it's an experience. So, is brisket truly the king of barbecue? Well, let's just say it reigns supreme in our minds and on our plates. If you're still not convinced, I challenge you to try some for yourself. But beware, you might just find yourself entering a lifelong hobby that has been the case for so many of us before. Alright, let's dig in even deeper into the world of brisket. We've covered the basics. Did you know that brisket has a bit of a celebrity status in various cultures? Take Texas, for example. In the Lone Star State, brisket isn't just a meal, it's a rite of passage. You can practically hear the Texas folks saying, "If you can't smoke a brisket, can you even call yourself a Texan?" It's almost like there's a secret handshake among pitmasters. And if you don't know how to cook a brisket, well, good luck getting into the club. It's the golden ticket to backyard bragging rights. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the artistry involved in brisket preparation. It's not just slapping a piece of meat on the grill and hoping for the best. Oh no, this is where the science of cooking meets the art of flavor. You have to be a bit of a scientist, measuring your temperatures, timing your cook, balancing the smoke level, and then there's the rest time. You can't just slice into a brisket the moment it comes off the pit. It has to rest. This is a very important step, oftentimes missed. At BBQ Beautiful, we would recommend a minimum of 4 hours, and we've experimented with rest times as long as 17 hours under the right conditions. And what about the age-old debate of sauce versus no sauce? This could spark a barbecue war. Some purists will tell you that a well-cooked brisket doesn't need sauce. You want to taste the barbecue flavor and the beef flavor profile. Others will slather it with barbecue sauce and insist it is the only way to go. Just remember, the best part of cooking briskets is that you can cater to both sides. Serve it as is with some sauce on the side, satisfying all tastes and preferences. And here's a little pro tip. When you reheat brisket, do it low and slow, just like you would when cooking it. It helps retain the beautiful moisture. You can thank me later when you take your first bite. And as we finish up today's episode, I want to remember that brisket is not just a culinary delight, it's a celebration of flavor, family, and friendship. It's about the journey from cow to grill and all the fun it brings along the way. So whether you're a brisket novice or a seasoned pro, keep those grills hot and your appetites ready. Until next time, keep barbecuing and stay delicious. Today's feature recipe, beef brisket. You're going to need about 20 minutes for prep, 4 to 24 hours for dry brine time, and then 10 to 16 hours of cook time. And that could be more depending on the cut of meat. Before diving into the intricate steps of cooking a delicious brisket, selecting the right brisket is crucial. Look for a well marbled, untrimmed brisket, preferably with a thick fat cap to ensure juiciness and flavor. The preparation begins by trimming excess fat, ensuring a uniform thickness for even cooking. Recommend leaving a quarter inch on the top. Next comes the seasoning. This is where creativity meets tradition. A simple rub of salt and pepper might suffice, but many pitmasters swear by elaborate spice blends, each imparting its unique character. For this recipe, we recommend seasoning your brisket with BBQ Beautiful Brisket Rub. Now comes the heart of the process, the smoker. Whether using a traditional offset, pellet grill, or even a makeshift setup, maintaining a steady low temperature is key. Wood choice also plays a pivotal role, with options ranging from hickory and oak to mesquite and fruit woods, each contributing distinct flavors. As always, start with high quality meat from your local butcher or buy direct from a local farmer if possible. Here's what you're going to need: a whole packer brisket, a rub, quarter cup yellow mustard, and 2 tablespoons of dill pickle juice for binder, and then your butcher paper or your aluminum foil if you plan on wrapping your brisket. And we'll get into more about that later. For the spritz, 1 cup white vinegar, 1 cup apple juice, 2 tablespoons hot sauce, and 2 tablespoons Wersch. I'm not even going to try to say that whole word because I'll butcher it, but you know what I mean. Step 1: trim the brisket of excess fat, being sure to leave a quarter inch of fat on the top side. Ensure all the silver skin is removed from the bottom. Important step here: when trimming, save the trim fat to render down into beef tallow. And if you plan on wrapping later in the recipe, you can utilize the beef tallow in the wrapping process. It's also amazing for reheating brisket. At this point, if you're new to cooking briskets, push a toothpick through the flat end of the brisket to show which way the grain is running. This will help at the end of the cook for slicing. Always, always, always have to slice against the grain. It's a good little tip to ensure you remember which way the grain is running. Step 2: mix the mustard with pickle juice and apply a thin, even layer all over the meat. Make sure you refrigerate any leftovers and use in another recipe. Using your favorite rub, apply a generous coating to the brisket. I feel like it's very hard to over season a brisket, so apply liberally. Step 4: place in the fridge uncovered for 4 to 24 hours to dry brine. Step 5: set up your smoker for a low and slow cook. 250 to 275 I usually start with. Fill the water pan, and if your smoker doesn't have a water pan, use an aluminum foil pan. Step 6: place the brisket on the pit with the fat cap facing up and the point of the brisket facing the firebox. Step 7: cook for 3 hours without opening the lid while maintaining a temp between 250 and 275. Step 8: mix the spritz ingredients in a spray bottle and shake well. Step 9: after 3 hours, open the lid and spritz the meat. Make sure to refill the water pan if running low. This will ensure a humid cooker, helping keep the brisket moist and provide a convection type cooking environment. Check on the brisket every hour or two and spritz when needed until the bark is set and has reached a desired color you're looking for. Note: if you're planning on wrapping the brisket, a rough guideline is to wrap when the meat reaches an internal temperature of roughly 160 to 170 degrees. Step 10: now you have options. Wrap in butcher paper, wrap in tinfoil, foil boat method, or no wrap at all. This is what makes smoking meat fun. Experiment with the different techniques or invent one of your own. Keep notes on each cook to determine what works best for you If wrapping the brisket, try using some of that rendered beef tallow from step 1 to elevate the beef flavor profile and add even more moisture to the beef. Step 11, another general guideline, if you're using a temperature gauge, is to remove the brisket from the pit when the internal temperature reaches anywhere from 195 to 203. I prefer to cook the brisket until it's probe tender, meaning a soft, buttery consistency with very little resistance when probing with the temperature gauge. Step 12. Cook until the meat reaches the desired temperature or is probe tender. Check often. Briskets take a long time but can finish quickly. Step 13. Remove the meat and let rest for a minimum of 4 hours. Another tip here is in your oven on the lowest setting or wrapped in towels and then placed in the cooler. Finally, slice against the grain, eat, and enjoy. For this recipe and many more, visit the BBQ is Beautiful blog at www.bbqbeautiful.ca. Okay, it's time for our barbecue giveaway that we're calling BBQ Brag to win. One lucky listener will win some amazing barbecue merch that'll take your outdoor cooking to a whole new level. Whether you're a backyard beginner or a seasoned pit master, this giveaway is going to be for you. So what's up for grabs? First, a BBQ Beautiful bundle. This includes one BBQ Beautiful base layer, honey heat, brisket rub, and a spicy chimney from our lineup of seasonings and rubs. Next, one t-shirt and hat of your choice from the BBQ Beautiful website, www.bbqbeautiful.ca. And of course, there's going to be free shipping. How to enter? First, make sure you're subscribed to the BBQ Beautiful Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode or an announcement. Next, connect with us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok at BBQ Beautiful. Then share our latest episode on your stories or feed, and don't forget to tag us. Use the hashtag BBQ Brag to win. BBQ BRAGTOWIN. This way we can easily find your posts. Finally, drop a comment on our giveaway post telling us about your favorite barbecue recipe or share your best barbecue tip, pictures, or videos. And here's the kicker. For each additional entry you want to earn, simply engage with us. Like and share the posts, comment on our episodes, or even send us a voice message with your barbecue questions or stories. The more you interact, the more chances you have to win. So get creative and show us your barbecue. Let's talk about the timeline. You have until the 25th of each month to enter. Mark your calendars because we'll be announcing the first winner on November 29th. You don't want to miss it, and who knows, it could be you. Why are we putting on this giveaway? Well, we want to express our thanks to each and every one of you who tunes in each week. Your support means the world, and this giveaway is our way of giving back to this amazing barbecue community that we're building together. And we really do want to hear from you. So what topics do you want us to cover in future episodes? Are there any barbecue legends or techniques you want us to dive into? Share your thoughts in the comments when you enter the giveaway. This is all about community, and we want to make sure that we're bringing the content you all love. So to recap, subscribe to the podcast, follow us on social, share our latest episode using hashtag BBQ Brag to win, and comment on our giveaway post. It's that easy. Get excited because this is your chance to elevate your barbecue game with some awesome gear. Good luck to everyone out there, and may the best griller win.